Hi everyone, and welcome back to Brick by Brick. I'm Roxann Klepper, and I'm so glad you're here. Yes, I've been sort of MIA for a bit. Summer in real estate is no joke, but I'm back with fresh episodes, exciting guests, and juicy topics lined up. From real estate with yours truly, to skincare, women's health, navigating divorce, and figuring out who pays for what when you're coupled up. We're covering it all. But today, since it's peak acreage season, we're diving into the world of acreage living. So if you've ever dreamed of swapping city lights for starlit skies, or just want more room to breathe, and maybe a couple chickens, this episode is for you. Now, listen, if you're already living the acreage life, some of this might sound like common sense, but you'd be surprised how many buyers don't fully understand what goes into owning land, and even seasoned acreage owners get stumped by the oddball septic system now and then. So this episode will run a little longer than usual, but it's packed with everything you really need to know if acreage life is calling your name. Let's get started. So, the big picture, expectations. Buying an acreage is nothing like buying a home in town. You don't just say, I want a 2-story on a big lot, and I show you a dozen to pick from. You've got to think bigger and broader. Maybe you find a stunning home on a 1-acre lot with 0 trees, or a small, older home on 10 acres of dreamy land. But getting both is rare. You'll probably have to compromise somewhere, but that's part of the magic and the challenge. Next up, zoning. It's super important. Depending on your plans, this could be the thing that makes or breaks your acreage dream. So here's some of the zoning that you're going to run into on your acreage shopping journey. R1, which is country residential. This is the most common type. Think neighborhoods like Burbank Heights or Mintlaw Bridge. These usually come with restrictions, architectural guidelines like no mobile homes, no houses, size restrictions on the home, and often no animals other than your pets. You may luck out and find exceptions. I had a beautiful 16-acre R1 acreage that allowed large animals, but most of the time you're looking at 1 to 3 acre parcels with community style rules, okay? Ag zoning. This is the unicorn, it's what we're all looking for. Someone likely owned a full quarter section and subdivided the homestead to sell. So with ag zoning, you can have animals, build outbuildings, and enjoy way more freedom. There are still some rules as per the county, but it's less restrictive and you often get mature trees and an established yard site. But the trade-off is the homes are usually older. So make sure you understand what the zoning allows. Next is the water. Wells versus cisterns, and no, it doesn't just come from the city well supply. So most acreages rely on a well, but not all wells are created equally. Some areas have fantastic water, others, like parts of Balmoral, don't have enough and use a cistern, which is basically a giant water tank that you may have to refill via truck. So when buying, make sure to confirm the water source. Is it a well, a cistern, or both? Test for bacteria and do a flow test. Aim for a minimum of 4 to 6 gallons per minute minimum. Check for treatment systems like chlorinators or softeners as well. And pro tip, always bring in experts like Mark Johansson at FXC or West Country Pump and Filtration. These guys know their stuff and will give it to you straight, no fluff, no drama, okay? Septic systems, sexy, right? Well, maybe not, but essential. Most acreages use a septic tank and field where the solids settle and break down and gray water filters out into the ground. Other types you might see are septic mounds, which are rare but exist, and open discharge, which are more common on large properties. No field, just a release point. You have to treat your septic like a delicate ecosystem that it is. No harsh chemicals or wild DIY experiments. Get the tank inspected. Understand the maintenance that goes into it, and yes, sometimes you'll need to pump it out with a vac truck. These systems are expensive, and your house cannot run without it. So learn about them and maintain them, and they will last way longer, okay? All right, distance from town. This sounds obvious, but it's one thing to dream about peace and quiet. It's another to forget the eggs and have to drive 30 minutes back in minus 40 in your slippers. So if you've got kids, sports, or a partner who loves quick errands, this can wear thin fast. So make sure your lifestyle lines up with the location, okay? The house itself. Acreage homes are one-offs. You won't tour 10 nearly identical options. Instead, you'll see unique properties with quirks, pros and cons, and definitely character. You may need imagination and a willingness to do a little bit of work, but that's part of building something that's yours. And most acreage owners will tell you that the trade-off is worth it. So, final thoughts. Acreage life is beautiful, but it's also work. There's freedom and space and quiet, but also maintenance, distance, and compromise. So if you're ready to do the trade in for the cul-de-sac, for the countryside, make sure you go in wide, eyes wide open. These are just a few little things. I could talk about this for 4 hours. So also make sure you work with a professional, okay? It's super important and there's so much more involved. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you've got questions, send them my way. I'm always happy to chat. And if you're wondering whether that dreamy piece of land is a perfect fit or a future headache, I can help you figure that out too. Until next time, keep building your life brick by brick. See you later.